Yo, what's up, y'all? So today, got this video here, how to look more attractive as a guy. I don't want to just talk about women on this channel, right? Yes, this is to help get women. It will be to help get women, but you should want to look good for yourself, right? Because it just, who doesn't want to look good for themselves? So, yeah, man, I don't always want to have all these topics about women. So if y'all have any other suggestions, let me know in the comments below. But we gonna get right to the video. Let's get it, man.
Famous. Imagine becoming so attractive that nobody can resist staring at your face. I want that for you. So I boiled down my 5 years of learning into a 4-pillar formula that you can follow step by step. And by the way, you'll have to take note today because we're going way deeper than simple things like how to get whiter teeth. Looks maxing is so much more than that. And let's be real, you deserve so much more than that. Number one, the hard truth. Some people are naturally born attractive while others actually have to work step by step figuring out what to do. This will leave you lost and confused. So let's figure out what you can actually do. Linked below, I have a community I created where I talk about this in depth, but more on that later. Take a look at this guy. His name is Jordan Barrett. He was born naturally attractive. He's one of the most world's famous models, and realistically, he just had good genetics. Yes, there were obviously things that he did to improve himself, but at the same time, he would have looked good regardless of anything that he ever did. So this just means that if you're born unattractive, you have to stay that way, right? Well, no, not at all. That's exactly what I'm about to explain. If you were born less attractive than somebody like Jordan Barrett, who's highly attractive, there's never been a better time to document your glow up experience, and there's never been more information to make the change. I would actually argue that being born naturally highly attractive can put you at a disposition in other ways of life. Jordan Barrett could have never had this glow up arc that he might have been able to post on social media like I did, which gave me a career. If I was born naturally good looking, I wouldn't have to make content like this or ever even learn about it in the first place. And guess what? The worst way to permanently ruin your appearance is to assume that there's nothing you can do to actually change, and that's the lie that most young men are told today. And while Jordan,
A lot of you niggas be assuming y'all can't do nothing about how you look anymore, and y'all give up. It's just about discipline, right? If you really want to see lasting change, you have to apply yourself in anything you ever do in life. So if you've accomplished something big in one area, that had to have taken discipline. You just have to apply that to your looks, and honestly, getting in the gym like that will fix a lot of your issues.
Jordan Barrett was born naturally attractive, I was not. But I still found a way to gain over 3 million followers on social media and make a career out of my looks. So if you're in my shoes, what should you do? Start with considering your genetic advantages and disadvantages. For example, somebody like Jordan Barrett was naturally very skinny, while some people, on the other hand, might be naturally a little bit bigger and have more fat. This is because of your levels of ghrelin, which is your hunger levels. It's not that one person was genetically fat while another person was genetically thin. It's that one person had a predisposition that led them to being more hungry, which also led them to eat more food. Your genetic makeup is going to determine the advice that you should follow and the advice that you should avoid. This video is not just a bunch of tutorials. It is a formula that you can use based on your own genetics and your own life experience. Think about it as a foundation of what advice you should actually be following in the first place. Pillar 2, a variety of different looks maxes. I want you to look at this. There's a problem here. This is the face of a person who has potential but was not using it. This guy's name is Chris Pratt. He has facial hair. He's literally a celebrity. He has decent style, but the way that he looked, he was doomed for failure. The reason is that Chris did not care or improve the way he looked to his full potential, and this led him to be considered an ugly celebrity according to the internet. Think about this. When you take an average person and improve some things about their face or their style, everyone notices. A good example is if a pale person used a self-tanner. It's a subtle change, but it's impossible to skip over. And the same thing was true for Chris Pratt. When you look at what he looked like in the past, he was overweight, he had a patchy looking beard, and wore clothes that didn't really fit nicely. That's really bad, to be honest. Now, he could have gone on a starvation diet, shaved his beard off, and went to an expensive store and just bought a bunch of random clothes. Most people would assume that this is the best thing to do, but doing this could actually lead to more roadblocks down the line. However, there is a drawback to changing too much at once. Try to notice it as we go over the most important ways to actually change your looks. Diet. This is a combination of foods and drinks that you consume on a
Y'all lock in right here, because this is where a lot of people miss. Diet is so important. Okay, let's get into it.
Day-to-day basis that dramatically affect the way that you look. Eating extremely low calorie, high protein is the easiest way to improve your looks. Sleep. This isn't just laying down in your bed and closing your eyes. It's everything that you do throughout the day that leads to the night, and once again has a massive impact on your looks, but also your development over time. This helps with your willpower and sticking to your diet, as well as every other thing that involves looks maxing or improving yourself in any way. Without sleep, a lot of this information could be useless because there's no way you're going to use it and actually stick to a routine if you don't have the willpower to. 3 is specific looks maxes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go into depth a little bit of those. Since I'm a reaction channel, I can say whatever hell I want to say. So, yeah, I'm gonna go into a little more depth. Diet, right? High protein, low calories, or whatever he said. No, like, cut out all that sugar shit. Stop drinking alcohol. Like, cut it out, bro. You really want to look good, you can't be drinking every weekend. Like, it's best to just cut that shit out completely if you can. Or not, if not, limit yourself to maybe 1 or 2 drinks a week. That's it, bro. Maybe switch to drinking wine. Like, if you really just can't give it up, drink some wine. But drinking is so bad for you. There's no benefit to it, right? Sugar, cut it out. All that sugar, that shit makes your face puffy and it just adds fat. Like, there's nothing beneficial to drinking sugary drinks, candy, desserts, all that shit, bro. If you like that stuff, can't eat it, bro. And just get in the gym, just lock in the gym, right? And like you said, sleep is really important. Get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. A lot of us don't do this, and I'm guilty of it. Like, I sometimes come home and I be up in my bed scrolling. You know, I'm human, bro. But what I'm doing now, I'm trying to not do that as much. Well, I'm not doing that as much. Not trying. I'm not doing that as much. I come home, I lay down, put my phone down, because that'd be the issue. Just, you had that phone near you, you want to pick it up, you start scrolling, you start watching YouTube videos. Just put the phone down, and I promise you will go to sleep. Sleep is so important for building muscle. It's really important for that side of it. So, and it's good for your health, for your stress level, your under eyes, so you won't have bags and dark circles if you're getting good sleep. Yeah, it get like that, man.
This is where most people catch you, and it's so easy to lie to you. People will convince you to buy into products that don't work, methods that don't actually help you, all in which just to make more money and grow their own personal brand. This is actually where most looks maxing lies, and where most of the lies come from as well. I mean, just look at this video. Do you really believe that doing these facial expressions is going to make you more attractive? Spoiler alert, it's not. So if you're tired of being lied to, feeling lost with the way that you look, not knowing what to do with your life, or even making the amount of money that you want, I highly suggest joining my community linked below, where I give you 40 plus video guides on everything that you can do to look better but also make more money even online, as well as getting direct access to me. After every 50 members that join, the price is going to become brain mush if you listen to it all at once. All of this self-improvement variety can lead you to quit all of your good habits and revert back to your bad ones. You risk getting lost when you try to do this tactic and also falling for misinformation.
Kind of be careful who you listen to when you are taking advice on the internet, right? I'm not talking about this guy specifically, like saying his advice is bad, but I'm just going off what he just said. All these self-improvement guides out here, and it can kind of be overwhelming. You're like, I don't know what the hell to do, where to start. I'm telling you right now, start in the gym. If you just start with that and you just lock in there, I promise you, your habits will start to become a byproduct. Your diet should naturally change. Your sleep should naturally change. You're going to get a better jawline. You're going to lose body fat, right? You're going to be more cut. You're going to be more confident. So it's just like a lot of things change when you are just focused
Don't
on
try a
one thing when you first start.
looks maxing technique just for the sake of trying it. For example,
There's no quick fix. These look maxing techniques that people say, like the jaw exercises, that shit's not real, bro. It doesn't last.
Like I said before, some people have different genetics and not everything is going to apply to every person the same way. It's the same reason that I wouldn't tell a dark-skinned person to wear a self-tanner, yet I would tell a pale person to do so. Oftentimes, improving your looks doesn't even mean using a looks maxing method. Instead, use some of these tricks to actually make long-term changes, not only for your looks, but also your health. First, find a set group of high-protein, low-calorie foods that you can eat every single day that don't take too much time out of your day to prepare that you can actually stick with. This will lead to greater muscle mass and more fat loss due to the fact that protein helps with muscle gain and also helps keeping you full, meaning that you're not going to eat as much food. You can also find foods that come pre-prepared, for example, canned chicken, tuna packets, foods of this nature. Once again, it's really hard to stick to improving yourself when you make it hard on yourself. So that's why I always like to make it easy with these tips. Sometimes you can even get high protein options at fast food restaurants if you're on the go and you don't want to take too much time whatsoever. I hear a lot of people talk about how eating high protein is expensive when realistically it's not. You just need to shop on the right aisle, and one of the best aisles is the canned meat aisle, where you'll find the tuna, the chicken, and a bunch of other random meats that actually have high protein, low calorie, and you don't even have to prepare them, not to mention the fact that they're so cheap. Now, if you're somebody like me who's very low maintenance and doesn't really care too much about what I eat, this stuff is completely good for me. If you don't like these foods, there's always going to be more options, but a lot of times they're more expensive as well. Next, you need to make sure that your sleep routine is completely dialed in, especially if you're under the age of 25. Many people believe the misconception that you should be getting 8 hours of sleep every single night, and yes, this isn't totally wrong, but there's a lot of context missing here. Just for an example, the quality of sleep that you're getting is just as important as the quantity. If you're eating too late in the day, if you're drinking too late at night, if you drink alcohol, you smoke, you consume too much sugar or even caffeine at the wrong time of day, this will impact your quality of sleep enough to change the way that you look even long term. The reason I say it's so important for people to lock in on their sleep, especially when they're under the age of 25, is because you're still developing, not only physically, but also mentally. And like I've said before, your mental and physical go hand in hand. If you want to look your best, you need the willpower to follow the routines that it takes to get there. Lower sleep quality equals less drive, quick thinking, intelligence in general, and can overall ruin this whole process.
Bro, sleep is so goddamn important, and it's just such a thing that I overlooked, right? It's so important to just get good sleep, bro, because there's mental, like you said, there's cognitive effects to it too.
Because regardless of what you learn, application is the only thing that matters. And when you're not able to critically think and apply context that I'm giving you, you're not going to be able to improve. And don't even get me started on the actual physical downsides of getting poor quality sleep, like eye bags, acne, poor skin quality, quicker aging, hair shedding due to stress, higher calorie consumption on average, and an absolute laundry list of negative side effects that come with poor quality sleep. To make things completely clear, here's 6 ways that I actually improve my sleep. Number 1 is showing your eyes to the sun the absolute second that you wake up. And no, a window is not enough. You should be going outside as soon as you wake up, because the UV rays will actually set your circadian rhythm the right way, which will help your body naturally release the sleep hormone known as melatonin, so that way you fall asleep at the same time every single night. Number 2 is early morning exercise. Exercise directly impacts your sleep, but the thing is, it's not always positive. It can be negative as well. Working out, especially with high intensity, can dramatically impact your sleep quality, especially when it comes to the time of day in which you do it. The rule of thumb is that the later in the day you're doing exercise, especially with high intensity, the worse sleep you're going to get. And that's why doing it earlier is paramount for your success. Number 3, caffeine. Consuming caffeine is a real life cheat code, but if you do it the wrong way, it can also be your downfall. It really all comes down to your timing. The reason you should be consuming caffeine 1 hour after you're awake is actually something you would never think of. And yes, consuming caffeine 1 hour after you're awake is ideal. Within the first hour that you're
I don't understand how people need caffeine every single day. I don't know, like, the benefits or the disadvantages to drinking coffee, but I just don't feel like that's necessary, bro. There's so many other, like, more natural ways to boost your energy when you first wake up.
awake, you should be consuming water and electrolytes. Your body is going to be depleted of both of those. So why don't you consume caffeine right when you wake up? Well, this is because your body actually won't take it the right way. Within the first hour of waking up, your body does this weird thing that actually keeps you from using the caffeine the right way. But if you consume caffeine after the first hour you've been awake, it'll block something in your body known as adenosine, aka one of the things that makes you feel drowsy and tired, meaning that the caffeine will be more effective at this time, but consuming it a lot later than this can lead to obvious problems with your sleep. The fourth thing that I do is I eat early in the day, day. And when I say early, I'm talking I try to eat my last meal at 1 p.m. and I go to sleep around 9 or 10 p.m. The earlier you finish your last meal, the higher quality of sleep you get because your body doesn't need time digesting it at night. Number 5, I make sure every meal that I have is high protein and high fiber. This helps with hunger levels, meaning that late at night, even though I finish my meal very early, I still don't feel hungry. If you eat junk food like candy or bread, there's 2 issues caused. Number 1, it can lead to extreme cravings, which will make you hungrier later, but it can also just keep you at a general high hunger level, meaning that eating this early in the day is practically impossible for someone like you, which means no matter what, your sleep is going to be worse, whether it's because you're hungry or because you ate so late. And step number 6 is showing your eyes to the sunset. This also helps with circadian rhythm, meaning that you'll get higher quality sleep, but there's also been studies showing that when you view...
Okay. So, I don't know how true all this shit is, but it's different. I wasn't expecting like the typical look smaxer advice, but I think that he gave some solid points, right? What do you focus on? Sleep, diet, and those are the other thing. There's 3 things he kind of talked about, but sleep and diet were like the main things. It's not hard, y'all. There's no quick fix. If y'all want like real long-term changes, fix your sleep, fix your diet, and get in the gym, bro. Eat high protein so you can build muscle and lose fat. Do cardio. Cardio is important. Y'all can't skip that shit. Don't skip leg day either, right? You want to be well-rounded. And you want to be healthy because we only getting older. We all going to die one day. That's the reality of things. So why not be as healthy as you can be so you can look as good as you can be? You got to think long-term because if right now you're smoking and drinking all the time like I used to, I don't do that stuff no more, bro. Just get in the gym. If you think, oh, it's hard for me to quit this, it's hard for me to quit that, just get in the gym, man. I'm telling you, that's going to fix a lot of the things. When I got in the gym, my diet changed, my sleep was better, like I just said earlier, and I cut out a lot of bad habits just by default because it doesn't align with who I'm becoming. Right? Somebody who's healthy in the gym isn't going to be drinking alcohol every day. Isn't going to be drinking beers. I don't drink anymore, y'all. I don't do it no more. So, yeah, man, it's just about what you want, right? Wake up and live in reality. If you're not attractive genetically, what can you do? Everybody can get better sleep. Everybody can get in the gym. Everybody can change their diet. I promise you, bro, you'll look better. All right. I just love y'all. See you in the next video.